Now at 4, a warm Wednesday in progress, but we have a temperature dip on the way, and it's going to bring us some rain. We're going to let you know how much to expect ahead in the forecast.
And $27 million will go toward making Indiana schools safer. We'll break down the numbers for you. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
It is 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. We are so glad you're here as we take a live look outside. Clear skies now, but rain is coming. Let's switch over to radar where you can kind of see some rain cells popping up in the northwest part of the state. Nothing around central Indiana just yet. We're keeping an eye on it. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Dustin Grove here along with Felicia Lawrence and meteorologist Sean Ash.
As he just mentioned, rain is on the way, but there's some caveats to this. We need to know when.
Yeah, and I like to always set these expectations on the low side. We need a bunch of rain.
We do.
We're not going to get a whole bunch of rain, but anything is better than nothing, I guess. But if you have outdoor plans here in the next several hours, you're in good shape. What you see is what you get. It is breezy. We're going to go for showers late in the game. No pun intended if you have those activities. The next several hours, we're going to be right around, if not above 80 degrees. And the metro area, as we get closer to 9 or 10 o'clock, fair game that we'll start to see a shower or thunderstorm popping up. But right now, we're very similar to what we had yesterday, which is this expected here. We're back into the 80s again. One of the warmer days we're going to have until the middle part of next week. You can see the cloud field here, way more bark than bite over northwest Indiana, where there's a little bit better lift to overcome the drier air that's in advance of it. We are getting some showers and a few rumbles of thunder. We do not expect any severe weather. A couple of storms may have a 45 to 50 mile per hour gust, but most of this is just going to be the scattered variety of showers here. You can see we are in the 80s behind the front. Rockford with the northwest wind at 69. I show you that because that's the air mass that we'll be in this time tomorrow. This front is going to flip the wind around to the northwest and the cool change is going to return. Here's future track 13. All right, so now we're at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Northwest gets the greater coverage first. Metro and southeast get it second. Between about midnight and about 2 or 3 in the morning around the metro will be the greatest coverage of showers and a few rumbles of thunder. We will still have some leftovers tomorrow morning along and especially east and southeast by 69, and then we'll get into the cooler side of the front. And speaking of cool, we got a crisp weekend on the way. How low we're going ahead in the forecast.
Ooh, crisp weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get to that though, as Sean said, you don't want to get caught in the rain. Track it along with him using the Doppler 13 weather app. It is free to download for Apple and Android, and it is in your phone's app store. Also, new hope for the unhoused. The Department of Metropolitan Development just announced a new round of applications for eligible nonprofits to help address the growing issue. Our Matthew Foltz spoke with one nonprofit hoping to apply and how it will impact their work.
We'll figure out a way to keep you engaged, however, whenever that looks like.
KT White is doing her best here to make sure the unhoused are taken care of here at Allies with Humanity.
We offer a light breakfast, we offer a hot meal, case management, connection to resources, and clothing closet.
She's the executive director helping run the grassroots nonprofit for the last 3 years.
So our average right now is like 10 to 14 people, which is low for us.
But thanks to a new grant opportunity with the city, she's hoping to expand their operations.
It's something that is life or death.
Right now, the Department of Metropolitan Development is opening the 2026 Emergency Solutions Grant, or ESG, for nonprofits working to help those who don't have a place to call home.
The ESG grant would allow us to get somebody back out on the streets to support our direct outreach efforts.
It means the world to me. It's a safe place.
Susan Richards was one of those people who was unhoused earlier this year.
So places like this, you would say, are crucial to Indy.
I honestly believe that.
She came to the nonprofit daily until she was back on her feet.
I come here for the quiet, the peace of mind, the not being judged, and being loved and accepted.
A place with no judgments that White hopes to keep up and running for a long time to come.
Family has given everything to this mission, literally everything. And so that's also why funding like the ESG is important for us to keep the work going, and for other small organizations that are grassroots in our community to be able to continue to support our unhoused neighbors.
Now, city leaders tell me that nonprofits have until October 6th to fill out their applications. Once they're all in, the city will then review them, and those nonprofits that are selected will be given their grants and a contract in April. Reporting here in Indy, I'm Matthew Foltz, 13 News.
Great to hear success stories like Susan's there.
Yeah, impactful.
Yeah, well, we are also learning more today about almost $30 million in grants to keep kids safe in school this year.
Specifically where that money is going and what it will be used for. Ella Rhodes has been pouring through the details today. She joins us now. What'd you learn?
Yeah, Dustin and Felicia, $27.1 million will be split up among 494 schools for safety initiatives. So school systems that applied for the grant money ranked categories for what its district needed the most. So those categories are for things like school resource officers, technology, support services, firearm training for staff, design and construction, site vulnerability assessments, bullying prevention, and a few others. Majority of the money went towards school resource officers, nearly $19 million for 328 of those school systems. But if you take a look at the map on your screen, we want to show you where all this money is really going in the state. So the map shows you which counties, including several school districts in them, received the most money. Now, schools in Marion County got more than $3 million. Lake County received around $1.6 million, followed by Hamilton and Allen with more than $600,000 apiece. And lastly, Hendricks and Johnson rounded out the top areas, seeing the most school safety funding. So the largest amount an individual school system received was $92,500, and 163 school systems got that much.
Wow.
Now, that was spread out across the state and heavily here in central Indiana as well. So here you can see that, and that is all those counties that had the most school systems receive 92 grand. So 22 districts in Marion County got that, Lake County with 13, Hamilton County saw 7 school districts receive 92,000. Followed by Allen with 6, and Madison and Hendricks and Johnson, all with 5 school districts receiving $92,500. Now, the Indiana Department of Homeland Security organized this grant program. They say for each school's safety, they can't share how the school systems are using the money specifically, but it involves the categories that we mentioned earlier.
So when will they actually see this money?
Yeah, so there's actually some really exciting news for this. IDHS told me today that schools just found out about this, their announcement, if they got the money, and they can start using that money now, and then they will get reimbursed within the next 2 months or so.
Okay, we know with all the legislative changes, budgets have been running thin, so any little bit helps. But,
Exactly.
well, a lot of it.
Yeah, in some cases, for sure. Ella, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, game week preparations are underway for the Colts.
We are now just 4 days away from the season opener against the Miami Dolphins. The Colts trying to snap a winless streak in season openers. The last time they began the season with a win, you'd have to go all the way back to 2013. 2013? But it's a new year, it's a new team, a new opportunity for the Colts, and Shane Steichen, who enters his 3rd season as head coach.
Obviously super excited to kick week 1 off at home against the Dolphins. I know it's going to be an electric atmosphere in there with our fans, and honoring Mr. Irsay in the Ring of Honor is going to be special. So honor him this season, put in the work, the preparation, have a great week of practice, and excited. I know our guys are excited, for this opportunity come Sunday at 1 o'clock.
All right, so you heard Steichen mention Jim Irsay being put into the Colts Ring of Honor, and that will take place at halftime. Coming up at 5, though, Eli Gain joins us to talk about the Week 1 expectations for the offense with Daniel Jones under center.
So, let's talk about the hopeometer here.
Okay.
If you've got a hopeometer, where would your needle be for success this season?
To win that season opener, or just overall general?
Just overall. You think about it. Because The Athletic just released the results of its 2nd annual hopeometer heading into football season.
Okay, here are the results. The Colts fan base has the lowest expectations of any team, even worse than the Browns, the Cowboys, and the Saints.
We got Browns fans in here upset about
I
that.
know, some people are upset here. 93% say they are pessimistic about the upcoming season. So one person responded saying, "This team has been a mess for years. I'm just excited for the reset. Unfortunately, we have to wade through this quagmire of a season to get there." Anyone who uses the word quagmire is upset.
Is a pessimist. But 7% are optimistic. These are the eternal optimists. One of
Okay.
those fans said, "The Colts made good additions to the defense, and Daniel Jones has a good supporting cast of skill players. I think the Colts will surprise the pundits." The most optimistic fans, in case you're wondering, were the Broncos, Eagles, and the Bucks.
I thought you were going to say the Cowboys.
No.
They're always optimistic and they always
they
lose.
were pretty high. They were pretty high up there, actually. But
They always
the
lose.
Broncos, Eagles, and the Bucks were the most optimistic.
Oh, this is a tough one. I really think it's going to start like 50-50. I feel like the last couple of seasons have gone like that. Like 50-50, oh, we're doing good. And then it's like, well,
I think we have to start optimistic. You gotta start hopeful.
You gotta
right?
dream.
You gotta dream big. Speaking of big racing news this afternoon. Colton Herta is leaving Andretti Global for a test driver role with Cadillac F1. He is now the first American in that program. Cadillac aims to secure Herta a full-time ride in F2, which is the final step for a driver who wants to get into F1 racing.
Okay, I was like, wait, those numbers aren't
Yeah,
matching.
and then take a look at this. Team Andretti, Herta's former team, posted this thank you note to him on X. What a great
that's
gesture.
nice.
Yeah, this is something that he said he's wanted to do for a long time.
Okay,
So,
thank you and good luck. It wasn't, well, from what we can tell, sour. Sour change.
a good public well wish for him.
Yes. All right. Good luck there. Hey, we've got more news ahead. 13 News at 4. A 5-year-old is okay after his solo breakfast adventure. The way he was reunited with his shocked parents.
Plus, Mark Zuckerberg is suing Facebook. No, not that Mark Zuckerberg. We're talking about the attorney here in Indianapolis. I'm Jenny Runovich. We're breaking down the lawsuit coming up.
Well, 80s today, but a temperature dip that will eventually take us into the 40s. That timeline's ahead in your forecast.